Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Come in. Take a seat. Take the comfy seat. Sit in the front row with me. How are you guys today? Thanks for checking out this video. And for those of you who have just found my channel, welcome back. If you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Audrey. I am an actual, real, live psychic medium. A real psychic, I am. So nice to have you here today. Today we're going to talk about the Idaho 4. And I kind of make a face doing that because it's like, oh God, I mean, we're talking about murder, right? But before we get started with that content, which is very important to talk about, let me remind you to please like this video, click the little like button, subscribe to this channel, and then share the video. You can share any video from YouTube via a link or forwarding it to a friend. So please try that out. Try it out. I want this channel to get bigger and bigger so that we as a community can reach more people. This is pretty much a community of women, which is fine. And I want to reach more women. I want the women to know that we all have each other's back. We're here for each other. Let's remind ourselves of that. I think we forget about that and we start feeling really alone and isolated and helpless. There's no need to feel that. So I'm glad you're here. Now, my last video, I mentioned that my husband's relative was actively dying. I'm trying to remember what day that is, but it doesn't matter. Just watch the previous video. See, here comes spirit. When spirit starts coming in, I start getting a thing in my throat. Excuse me. So my husband's uncle was passing. He was dying. I had never met him. Never met the man. Kind of an estranged family member, if you will. But I was getting information on him from spirit. And the information I was getting was there's two spirits there to greet him and take him to the other side. Now, I've decided in the last couple days, I don't want to use the word dying if I can help it, or died. I want to use the word relocate because that's really what's happening. We don't die. Our bodies die, yes, but our consciousness, that energy, which is invisible, like microwave energy or cell phone energy or all the other energies that we know exist, we just get relocated. And we'll talk more and more about psychic or spirit-related, energy-related things. Now, the reason I talk about crime, because I want to show you guys that I'm real. I want to show you, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not making up garbage and putting it out on the internet. Why? Because if you can see that I am real and that I can sort of predict these things or really see these things happening in crime cases, that you can apply that information to your own life. That way, when we do a reading and I say, your aunt is super happy. And you'll go, oh, she wasn't a happy person at all. You don't know what you're talking about. No, but she's happy now. Know what I'm telling you is true. And I know it's hard. If I wasn't a psychic medium, I wouldn't believe in it. I would be a doubter. I would not believe in it. But it's real. So I'm trying to pass on hope-filled information you can apply to your daily life, whether it's losing a pet, losing a friendship, losing a relationship, losing a loved one to relocating or dying, whatever the situation is. That way too, when we do readings together and I say, look, here's your future. Here's what Spirit's showing me. Don't give up. You have these things coming. Believe in yourself. Believe in what I'm telling you. I'm not a cult. I hate cults. I do. I hate religion. It's just not my thing. It's just not. So don't think I'm trying to adapt some sort of, make some church thing out of this or whatever. I just talk to dead people. That's what I do. They want me to help you. How do I help you? By talking about spirit and giving information that nobody else would know on the planet. Okay, so Uncle was dying. I had 2 spirits coming in for him. Sorry, I'm so parched. One was a dog, black. That's it, black dog. The other was an elderly woman, kind of heavy, on the heavier side. And that they showed me that they were there to take Uncle away. So, we went to bed knowing he hadn't passed yet. And my husband and I were laying in bed. And we leave our bedroom door open because my son, he's disabled. If he gets up, I need him to be able to just walk in the room and come and get me. So I do turn the lights out. There's, in the hallway, I put a little night light in there so Johnny can see enough to walk to my bedroom. And my husband usually stays up listening to podcasts and things on his phone with earbuds. And I'm usually just laying over, holding on to him, and having my back to the door. And so we were laying there, and all of a sudden, our hall light, the big light, it's 2 separate lights, but connected to one circuit. So you just flip the switch on either end of the hallway. The freaking light turned itself on. I don't do well with paranormal activity around me. It freaks me out. It scares the daylights out of me. And my husband's really calm normally, but he's got his earbuds in and he yells out, "Who turned on your lights? What the Somebody's out there." No. So he jumps up and I can hear him running around the house, checking the doors, checking different areas and stuff. And I'm like, oh God, it's spirit. I know it's spirit. I'm just closing my eyes. I don't want to deal with this right now. So my husband comes back. He's like, that's weird. I'm like, you know what happens when I start talking to spirits and stuff. So, Uncle did pass in the morning, that next morning. So he's at peace and he's with his loved ones and he's out of misery and he's happy. And so I just wanted to share that story with you. Now, also, I'm not going to take time, if these videos are an hour long or whatever, I don't want to take time and go through and edit and re-edit. Once you edit a video, you have to run it through and kind of smooth it out again in the editing software. So I'm not editing a lot out is my point. So if you catch me drinking and being quiet, I'm not editing this out. If I stumble on my words, if I pause here for a moment, I'm not editing it out. I'm just letting it roll because this way I can get it up on YouTube faster. And I just saw a sparkle and I have the chills. I got this hand done and I got 3 done on this side. Yay. And if you like my jewelry, you guys, I do have a jewelry website that I started. It's called vintageenvy.org. So if you like this style of jewelry, you can go to that website, check it out. It's not the cheapest because it's designer and it's vintage and stuff. So anyway, check that out. All right, I want to talk about the Idaho 4 murders. I'm sure you've heard of it. If you're not already familiar with it, you know what? I kind of joke around with my anger problem or my saltiness, trying to tame my saltiness. I get really, really pissed off when people are murdered. Usually it's women just going about their lives. Okay, I got to stop myself there because I'm going to go off on a tangent. I am sickened that these kids were murdered in their own home. Brian Hamburger should have never been able to do that. Whose fault is that? Is it the healthcare system? Did he not get the mental help that he needed? Everyone needs mental health help. I get it. I mean, personally, I do. I get help. Why? Because I want to be the best version of myself that I can be. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to be a jerk. I don't want to, I want to always try to improve myself. And there's nothing wrong with that. I keep going back when spiritually, spirit-wise, Spirit continues to show me his parents, Brian Hamburger's parents, Hamburger Sr. and Mother Hamburger, that they knew that there is something wrong with the man. Well, he was an adult. It's not the parents' responsibility. Well, it kind of is. Because this isn't a new problem Brian Hamburger had. He's always had this psychopathy in him. And the parents know that. The parents are kind of afraid of the man. So, there's that. This should have never happened. If you live in a house or anything with 4 walls and a door and a window, when you go to bed, lock your doors. But Audrey, I live in a small town. I don't care. I don't care if you live in a small town. I don't care if you live on property where it's all relatives. It's all your relatives, like a village or something. Lock your doors. You don't know what other people are thinking. You don't know what sickness is going on in people's minds. And I'm not trying to scare you. Do you want to live or do you not want to live? Be safe. You can be happy and unafraid and be safe at the same time. And I get frustrated with my own kids doing stupid things like this. Oh, no one's around. We're on acreage. And everyone's on acreage in Vermont. And also, where my kids live, well, my kids don't live together anymore, but where Benjamin lives, they're on acreage, him and his roommate, and in Vermont, people can walk through other people's property. You just can. That's a thing. You can't stop them. If they're not bothering you, there's nothing to do about it. I'm sorry. I can't live like that. I just don't. People will say, I got a gun. I don't care. I don't care. Just prevent the whole thing from happening. Whether you're a young person in a dorm, like my niece, whoever you are, take care of yourself. Don't think that nothing's going to happen. Please, please, please lock your doors. And this is the other thing. The Spirit shows me the rotation and the amount of kids coming and going out of that house. Who's going to know? Who's going to know that Hamburger is going to end up being the murderer? Please, please, please lock your doors. All right, what do we know? I have my notes. What do we know so far from Spirit? I am not the facts channel. I am a Spirit channel. My information I'm putting out there is not fact-based. Please understand that. These are only allegations. I have to say, I believe in my gift 100% for all of these things I'm going to tell you to be true. Okay, what do we know so far from Spirit? Well, one of the first things Spirit showed me, and this This whole time I've been talking, there's spirit here coming in and out. They're like running across my lap. You can't see it. I can feel it. That's why I get distracted. That's why I talk loud sometimes. It's like because I got to talk over myself because there's stuff going on around me. And I'm getting really hot and it's freezing outside today. Okay. Okay. Kaylee and Madison came to me and showed me, I believe it was Kaylee, a letter C. And she's literally going like this, making a letter C. And I reached out to you guys to ask you for your help. What is a C? What does a C stand for? What could it possibly mean? So I now know that the club they were at that night is called the Corner Club. Corner Club, 2 C's. But Kaylee keeps showing me CCTV. So that means videotaping, video monitoring, security cameras. And you guys also told me about Kara or Kara. I'm not sure how she pronounces her name. And that's Zaina's mother, C-A-R-A. But I have to cross that one off my list for now because I haven't spoken to Zaina or Ethan. And I feel like with Kaylee here, when she was telling me this information, it was for information on the case, information to help solve the case. So normally if someone's giving me if Zaina was just trying to get a hold of her mom, Zaina probably would have stepped forward herself and shown me the C or something like that. So I'm confident this is not referring to Zaina's mom. But it doesn't mean that Zaina won't come in later. I know she's passed. I know she's relocated. I can see her, but I still don't have access to her. And that's okay. That's okay. Like I've said, I do a reading once a month for 2.5 years. And I will talk to a spirit 1 month and I don't see them again for 10 months. They've got new information. And then 5 months later, maybe I'll talk to them again. They got more information. Okay. Information from Kaylee is she and Maddie thought that Brian was pranking them. She thought it was a prank. And I'm just right now, getting new information from Kaylee. This is how it works. This is how it works. Okay. Kaylee's showing me. This is the first time I've seen this vision. She's showing me herself kind of up on her elbows in the bed. Maddie is sleeping hard. And I get the impression it's from alcohol-induced sleeping. So she was really out of it. Okay, hold on. Kaylee's literally talking to me. She's saying, yeah, we were pretty, buzz. We had a pretty good buzz on. Okay, she had a buzz from drinking. So she's saying that cognitively she wasn't 100% that night. She was killed because she'd been drinking. So, she was a little confused. Her first thought was, oh my God, who is this pranking? These people need to stop having their friends over because they're a pain in the beat. Okay. I've also gotten information from Spirit that DM, which is one of the roommates, that she thought Brian was a friend of somebody in the house. Again. This is like, not a frat house, but again, rotating people in and out of the freaking house. I could never live like that. I couldn't do it because I'm too scared. I'm scared all the time. I am. I'm terrified all the time. So DM thought Brian was a friend of someone of the house. Now, here's some relatively new information. Maybe you didn't catch it in my last video, but I've been given a vision. Now, the vision's coming from someone who's right here. The girls, when they come in, they're right here to my right at about same level as me. Whoever this is getting me information about the lake house is behind me slightly right here. And I'm okay. They're saying, yep. I'm trying to look it up. Like, I know there's someone there, but it's like, let me see your face. What are you wearing? Who are you? So as I'm talking, I'm stalling because I want them to show me, who are you? Female energy. But Audrey, I thought you said all energies are no gender. That's correct. Our consciousness is not gender specific. I know that's going to upset some of you. I know it's weird. But when I say female or male energy, in this case, it's female energy, what this tells me is this was someone who lived on the planet. This was someone who lived. And when that consciousness was here, they were a female in this life. So this consciousness is connected to the kids in this murder. Could be a friend, family, or acquaintance who's passed away, who's trying to help me and us get this guy put away forever, and the death penalty. And again, I don't say that lightly. I would hate to be on a jury of someone who's possibly going to have the death penalty as a punishment. So, okay. So I got a woman here. She looks to me. Okay, I think. Ooh. She's talking to me. Okay. And I see a sparkle. Okay. Ah! I gotta write this down. Whoever this is showed me the number 67. She's a little older, but she died young. So maybe she died at 67. That's actually young to people like me. 67. I think this is someone's grandmother. And I heard the name Carol with a C. Something just moved on my desk. Oh. Is this someone's grandmother named Carol? She smoked, she's telling me. So right now, we're trying to identify whoever this person is here, because from here on out, when Carol starts telling me stuff, we better look into it. People need to listen. People need to get involved. Carol has kind of tallish hair, like a bouffant or something. Interesting. And this is the kind of thing that happens when I do my live shows. So if we were live right now, you may know who this is. And you can tell me right then and there during the show. And then I can move forward. It's like a live reading. Live interaction. So let's get the subscriber count up so I can do live shows, please. Interesting, interesting. Why didn't Carol come through a week or two ago? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how this works. It wasn't her time. Maybe God or the universe needed to connect me with the girls first. I just don't know. Okay, more information. So, the lake house. There's a lake house. What does the lake house have to do with the actual events of the murder? Probably nothing. It is Spirit's way to validate to you that I am psychic and that I am receiving information and that I'm correct and I'm giving it to the world. It's a lake house on a lake, obviously. I'm trying to see, where are we? Now, if this was okay, this is where I'm going to be a human being and not a psychic for a minute, okay? I've been to Idaho. There's a lot of lakes. It's beautiful. I've been to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I went to visit a friend who used to work with me. So yeah, Audrey, well, there's a lot of lakes. You're just kind of making up shit. No, I'm not making it up. Number one, I would never disrespect the universe or God by how horrible is that? People, psychics who make up stuff, terrible. Karma's a bitch. Okay, I'm not gonna say it. Karma's a bitch. Two, I would never make anything up because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of spirit. I don't want to reap any consequences of accidentally giving you information. Maybe that's just my own personal feelings. I see a lake around the front. Okay, so I'm seeing the house over here. You park in the front. There's garages right there, but then over here there's a not a patio, a deck. The deck kind of goes around. I can even see the wood. Like the fence isn't like this. The fence kind of bent out a little bit, giving you this extra room to stand right here. Maybe put your food on the fence, top of the fencing. And then the decking goes around to the other side. It doesn't go around the entire house, but it's this side and then this way. And I think the kitchen is overlooking the lake over there. Okay, what does this mean? I don't know. It's just another way to help you know that what I am seeing is real. And when I give you shocking, serious information that no one else has said or knows, you know I'm right because I've already proven myself in 15 other things. Now, here's something interesting. Here's something that we need to find out about. There's 2 knives. Did you know that there's 2 knives? Now, I've known from the beginning he used a knife to stab people. Why is it I didn't get this information until last night or this morning about this additional knife and what I'm about to tell you? I don't know. I don't know why Spirit just didn't tell me this, all of this, at one time. The knives are in possession where Hamburger wants them to be. They were not tossed out into the lake, so don't drag the lakes. Don't drag the lakes looking for knives or weapons or anything else. Don't put your energy and time into that effort. The knives are in a secured location where he can get them later. Why? Because he's sick in the head. He wants the knives. He doesn't want to lose the knives. He wants them. It's his trophy. Sick bastard. How awful. And you know, when mentally you're unwell, these are perfectly logical things to think about and do. We don't understand the mind of a killer because we're not like that. So again, mental health comes into play. Why is this important to know that there's 2 knives? They've been hidden because that means they're recoverable. And what did I tell you in one of the very first videos was that Brian Hamburger he knows the laws, he knows loopholes to get out of being properly punished. But if we can connect, not me, but somebody else, get those knives. Law enforcement needs more solid evidence, I don't know, whatever. They need the knives. They need to have the knives in their possession. But people need to look into this. So if there's law enforcement watching or someone who knows the law enforcement in Idaho, start looking around, start digging. I feel like one knife is in dirt in a specific location. I can see it. I feel like one knife is in Idaho, one knife is not in Pennsylvania, but it is in, I feel like a safety deposit box or some. The other knife is somewhere in between Idaho and Pennsylvania. Remember the road trip? That second knife was deposited somewhere no one would ever know. But there's DNA evidence on both of those knives. And law enforcement needs that DNA evidence. So that's very, very important. I'm just reading through my notes. Oh, yeah, okay. Here's something very important, spirit-wise. Again, maybe you don't know this about me, but I have been going to lectures at Stanford University for years and years and years. It's like physics lectures. It's all to do with science. It's fascinating. Ever since COVID, I don't live there anymore, but they still have them. Typically, they do them online, and in person still, but I can't get there in person, so I just do them online. But here's something that makes sense to me, because I'm a skeptic. I have to process things a lot of times to make sure I believe what I'm hearing or whatever. But when anything happens at any moment, even right now, just talking to you, and I know I'm kind of rocking back and forth, even doing this, rocking back and forth, excuse me, just my motion right here is creating a ripple effect. When a crime is committed, that's a big ripple effect. That negative energy, that fear gets spread amongst the entire universe. Someone could do something in Egypt right now, and we're going to feel the effects of it. I know it sounds a little nuts. I know that. But this is another reason why criminals should be punished. More needs to happen to stop crimes from happening. And I know it's an impossible task. So what can we do? Can we at least cut it in half? Can we make the world a better place? Let's cut the homicides and the crime in half. Easy, right? Just don't do anything. You don't have to you don't have to do anything to make that change. You just don't do it. You don't do the crime. And this isn't even like a physical crime. This is any kind of crime. Okay. Let me pause for a moment. All right. So I'm going to go through some comments right now and just answer some more comments and reply to some comments. Kathy Williamson, I have really missed you. We need you. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much. I'm going to give you a heart. Candy Girl INTX. I don't know what that means, Candy Girl, but welcome. She says, hi, Audrey. I'm one of your followers from many years ago. I have often thought of you and prayed that you were all right. I'm so happy that you're back. Thank you. I'm happy I'm back too. Okay. Lynn Marie says, hi, Audrey. I would be interested in that essential oil recipe. I have the same problem, but so far, mainly in my thumb joints alongside of hands. Thank you. Love your videos. Thank you, Lynn. So what Lynn's referring to is I mentioned that I have arthritis. You can see, I have it all over my hands, but you can see how my fingers are changing shape. They're inflamed, and it's very painful. I'm not a person that likes to take pain pills. I hate it. So I found a recipe, and I didn't have time. Well, maybe I'll put it right here. Let me just talk about it right now, okay? Because this is important. Like I said, my channel's not just about crime. It's about everything. We are well-rounded here on my channel. So the recipe uses, I'll insert a photo here. This is a 10 ml bottle. You have to use a dark colored bottle if you're using any essential oils, not a clear bottle. I'll put a link to these bottles down in the description box. Everything I'm going to show you is on Amazon, okay? Easy to buy for under $30. You can make like 8 bottles of this stuff. And it's homeopathic. There's no overdosing on it. It's copaiba. I'll put a picture of it right here. Copaiba is the oil. Now, don't ever apply these concentrated oils that come like this directly to your skin unless specifically told by somebody, because you could get burned and you could develop an allergy from it. So don't apply oil without a carrier oil. This is the carrier oil I like to use right here. It's also on Amazon. So what you do, you're going to put 10 droplets of the copaiba in the bottle. You just take the little tops off. Most of the time, the bottles come with the lids off. Make sure, don't use a plastic rolling top. Make sure your top of your bottle, the roller, is metal. Don't use a plastic one. They just don't work as well. And the cold metal on the roller feels good on you when you're applying it on. It just does. So 10 drops of copaiba oil into the bottle you go. Fill up the rest of the bottle with this fractionated coconut oil. It's a carrier oil, which means it just helps spreading that copaiba out in a bigger volume. It's like, remember orange juice used to come in a can? I don't know if it still does. And you add the concentrate of the orange juice and then 3 cans of water or whatever. This is kind of the same thing. Put the lid on, shake it. It will last a long time. Use it whenever you have pain, wherever you have pain. If you have jaw pain, if you have a tooth, maybe that's causing pain like I have. You can roll it on, not for your insides, only on your outsides of your body. Put it anywhere. I used to make it for my friend's father, who's now passed, but he had arthritis in his chest, and this was the only thing that would help him. It would help reduce the inflammation. I'm not a doctor, okay? Don't get mad at me for giving advice. I'm just your friend trying to help you out. YouTube is not fun anymore. They make you put disclaimers up on everything. Okay, anyway. You can use it anywhere on your body, your legs, your feet, if you have, whatever. Just roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Keep rolling it. Just roll it when you think about it. It doesn't have a awful smell. It doesn't smell like perfume either, but when you're in pain, you don't care. So I just do it all the time. I keep one in my purse. I keep one in my bedside because sometimes these flame up more times than others. So no matter what's going on, kids get a lot of growing pains. Working in education for 20 years, I've gotten to know growing pains very well. So this would even be something good for the kids. Don't send it to school, though. You can't do that. You can't send that kind of stuff to school. You get in trouble. You get a call from the principal. So anyway, there's the recipe for the anti-inflammatory, pain-decreasing recipe for arthritis and just any general pains. So try that. It works. Mary Ellen Barrows. Hi, Mary Ellen. If I close my eyes, it's like sitting in a room and having a conversation. We never want you to get in a place where you need to step back again. We're so happy you're back and we'll be there for you as you are for us. Thank you, Mary Ellen. That means the world to me. And one of the reasons I did leave before is because I didn't want to let you guys down by seeing me in the condition that I was. It wasn't pretty. And I didn't want that to affect your faith in me and my abilities to talk to spirit. So it was a hard decision. But we're all going to go through some rough patches in life. So I will share those with you because just even talking about them out loud to you guys is helpful. It's therapeutic. It's what's that word? Venting. Venting is very helpful. Okay. Gone Nuts says, I'm so very sorry for your family's loss. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Lori B says, looking forward to each video. So happy to watch you. Thanks, Lori. I'm going to give you a heart. Liana Schmidt says, happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy your videos. Glad you are back. Miss you. I'm going to give you a heart. Yeah, I hope you guys had a nice Valentine's Day. Ours was quiet. My husband bought me a card that was like this big and sealed it with duct tape. He did. He sealed it with duct tape. And we ordered pizza. We don't order pizza ever, so that was a treat for us. Anyway, I hope you guys had a nice Valentine's Day. Shelly says, I've met Audrey in person a couple of times, a couple of occasions. She is sweet, funny, authentic. Not to mention 100% spot on. Thank you, Shelly. Shelly is my biggest fan, I have to say. Right, Shelly? Shelly, we can do another selfie next time I see you. And, okay, let's see. KG says, Princess Diana was a sacrificial lamb for the entire family. I would say yes. Now, that might seem like conflicting information coming from me because I've told you that Diana wants you to know she was messed up like the rest of us, which is true. She had a lot of problems, but she was the sacrificial lamb. They made an example out of her, the royals. They did. They took advantage of her mental health issues and used it to their advantage to get rid of her. And I'm getting chills from Diana right now. She's like, why have you not figured that out before, Audrey? Why is this the first time you're saying that? It's true, though. They used her to... Again, I love the royals, and I love anything British, English. But they did. They took advantage of Diana's mental health condition because they weren't gonna eat crow or whatever that expression is. The royal family was not going to come forth and said, oh, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have really pushed the two of them to get married. And, don't complain, don't explain, right? That's the British way. But that puts you in a bad situation, because if you make mistakes like every human does, then you cannot come forward and say, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Now what? So, yes, but anyway, yes, Diana was the sacrificial lamb. KG says, I wasn't around for your first run at YouTube. I would have loved to hear your background about how long you've had the gift. Is it the same spirit that talks to you or different every time? Thank you, KG. I do write about this in my book. It's my book is a lot of different examples of how long I've known about my gift and all of that. So I won't get into all the details because I do want you to buy the book when it comes out. My book's going to be one of those things where you're going to get a highlighter pen and start circling things. It's like, yes, exactly, Audrey, exactly. I've been through this, or I understand this. Like, I'm not crazy. I'm going to show this to my husband or my best friend or my mother because they think I'm nuts. But real quick, I have had my gift my entire life. I've known about it my entire life, including as a baby. I have memories. I have pre-birth memories, which is something I haven't put in the... Did I put it in the book? I think I did put it in the book, but I need to call it pre-birth experience instead of what I have it written as in the book. So I need to change that. Whew. Speaking of the book, I put out to the universe, to you lovely ladies, that I needed an illustrator for my children's book. And the universe brought me somebody. Yay! I didn't have their permission to say this, so I'm not going to say who it was or who they referred me to until I have their permission. You know who you are. So you let me know if it's okay if I advertise your loved one who's going to do the illustrations on my children's book. I have the chills about it. I'm so happy about it because my children's book is going to help adults just as much as children dealing with loss and death. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And is it the same spirit that talks to you? So, KG, I have a spirit guide. Now, as I mentioned, there's no gender on the other side, but I feel like I need to give some identity to my spirit guide. So I've made her a girl. I've made her a girl, and I think I gave her a name, but I don't remember. I don't remember what name I gave. Wendy? I don't remember. It'll come to me later, some random moment. My spirit guide gives me a lot of information. She jumps in and out while I have like Diana here or the girls coming in or any other spirit when I'm doing a reading. My guide comes in and out as needed, basically. Because perspective is everything. And she helps give me perspective because my human brain's going, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean? And then she'll come and go, oh, this is what they mean. And show me a picture or just instantly gives me the understanding. Oh, okay, got it. That kind of thing. I know it's bizarre. Yeah, so she comes in and out. Celeste Manning says, happy Valentine's Day to you, Audrey. You're beautiful inside and out. Missed you. Hope all is well with your family. Much love from Vermont. Where are you in Vermont? Celeste, where are you in Vermont? So we lived, our house in Vermont, I guess I really got to know the East Coast in our year owning that house in Vermont. And it's really, really beautiful, especially in Vermont. So we lived close to Barrie. Our house was near Barrie, Barre. But we would go to New Hampshire all the time. It was like 20, 30 minutes away. New Hampshire is very different than Vermont. Going to New Hampshire felt like going back to California because in Vermont, it's very natural. There's no advertisements like on the side on the freeway. There's no ads. There's nothing on the freeways there. It's just green. And laws and rules are different and much different in Vermont than they are in New Hampshire. So New Hampshire's kind of I don't want to say more fun, but just what I'm used to. I did a lot of shopping in New Hampshire. I would go to New Hampshire to go shopping. But yay for Vermont. And then my daughter lives in Vermont near the Canadian border. So she goes to Canada a lot. She loves it. Loves it there. Yay. Okay. I'm going to give you a heart. Oh. Thank you, Fallon. I'm trying to keep it up. I'm trying. All right. Oh, Moon Shadow. Okay. Kara Northington is Zaina's mother's name. Okay. Let me write that down real quick because I may need to look it up or something. And if you try and find a comment again after reading it, it's difficult. So I'm just going to write it down. Okay. All right. Okay. Da, da, da. I'm just looking at the clock. I'm trying to make the video an hour. Just going to give you a heart. Give you a heart. Okay. This is interesting. This one I want to talk about, Sydney. Sydney wrote, "Hi, Audrey. What you're describing, seeing the queen do on the other side, I believe is called cocooning. Cocooning. I remember years ago, Sylvia Brown told us when a soul returns home and needs to rest and some healing, there's kind of a cocooning period." Sydney, do you realize you just gave me a huge gift? And I'm getting spirit. Sydney, you just rocked my world, okay? You rocked. You shook me. You did. You shook me in a good way. You validated something that I didn't understand. I didn't understand it. This is what I'm saying. I depend on you guys to help me because I don't understand it. You gave me one of the biggest gifts in my psychicness. So thank you, Sydney. Thank you for that. I'm serious, you guys. I'm serious because I didn't understand it. I mean, I had never heard of it. I mean, I know Sylvia Brown, who she was. I never heard her. Like, I wasn't a follower of hers because I was in the closet then when she was alive. And, you know, the more readings I do, the more situations that come up. So I started seeing this thing where the loved one's gone, but they're just kind of laying there, laying down flat on their back, kind of, you know, peaceful. Typically they're wearing, if I see clothing on them, it's like a white sheet or something, not like a obituary kind of sheet, just like, you know, like a gown, I guess. Although the queen I see in pink, which is interesting. So I didn't know how to explain this. I wasn't really sure what this meant. I was trying to find some identification, some consistencies within the people I've seen doing this, just laying down after they die. And the only thing I could come up with is that they were all happened to be Catholic. Well, that doesn't make sense with the queen because she wasn't Catholic. So I reached out to you guys by telling you what this is I see with the queen. I don't know what it is. But I did feel, like you said, Sydney, that it was some sort of rest period. And I know someone asked me about spirit school. I'm going to talk about spirit school because I love spirit school. It's hilarious, especially because I worked at a school for 20 years. Well, I should say I worked in education for 20 years. So it's funny. I can't wait to talk about spirit school. It's awesome. And I'll give you some real live examples of people I've channeled and what they're doing in school and what happens to them. So, Sydney, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for sharing that. See, this is why I love our community. I'm not going to call it cocooning. Was that the word? Yeah, cocooning. I feel led to call it Sleeping Beauty. At first I thought, oh, like Snow White. Spirit's like, no, more like Sleeping Beauty, because everyone's beautiful. Everyone's you're just sleeping for a little bit. And then you kind of wake up and go on from there. And it's a different scenario per person, but we'll talk about that later. But thank you, Sydney. I'm going to be calling it Sleeping Beauty Syndrome or something. So thank you. Oh my gosh. All right, you guys, I'm going to end it here so I can get this video rendered and up onto YouTube right now before my son gets home from school. So thank you for watching. Please, 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 you guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this video with somebody. You can drop this link into Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I don't know, wherever. Any social media. You guys know better than I do. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each of you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah.